This is Brian Drummond here, the OG voice of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, and you're watching Anime Secrets. It's over 9,000!
Toku Secrets is a podcast run by the Anime Secrets website. Check us out at animesecrets.org for more anime, video game, tokusatsu content. Remember to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts today.
Oh, yes! This is Goldar, and you're listening to Toku Secrets Podcast. Don't tune us out, tune us in!
Welcome to Toku Secrets. Join us as we journey into the marvelous world of Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, and many other tokusatsu. Get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. It's Morphin time! Link to the Morphin Quest. I'm Nathan Desai, the dazzling adventurer, Spoken Silver.
I'm Patrick Allen, I'm Shinken Red.
And I'm Ridwan Merchant, Gokai Red.
And I'm Anthony Davis, also known as Curie Green. And we're Toku Secrets.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Toku Secrets Podcast, presented by AnimeSecrets.org. And today we are doing episode number 6 of our review series of the current Sentai that is airing, number 1 Sentai Gozyuger. Last time we did up to episode 21, so today we're doing from 22 to 28. We're still going to be a little bit behind after this one, but we're going to kind of be breaking our own rules, starting with the next one, where long story short, we're only going to be doing 2 more Gozyuger podcasts, where we go up to 40 on the next one, and then do, up to 50 if it goes up to 50, or 48 or 49, however many episodes they have left. But yeah, that's going to be our schedule from now on. But we're going to make a little bit of a dent in getting caught up with it. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the episodes I just mentioned, and because we'll be a little over halfway done with the series at the end of this podcast, we are going to be doing our updated tier rankings, along with the opening tier ranking of Goju Polar, since we never did an updated tier ranking on him. So, not as much to talk about with this batch, but it's definitely some positive steps forward toward at least wrapping this up and moving on to some of the better stuff, because, that definitely sets the tone for how Gozyuger has been for us. I mean, if you follow Riz on his Riz Lord page, he kind of made a post today that we recorded this where he's not really as into this as he was into King Oger or Boom Boomger, and I've been trying to be a bit more optimistic, but after this batch, it's becoming a bit more difficult. But we'll get into why with here. So
yeah, I mean,
it's alright, like...
Oh, really? You're giving it that one. Okay, that seems like an up. That seems like a slight uptick compared to like what you've been making it out to be, but okay.
no, I don't hate Gozyuger. Okay, like there are seasons of Sentai I do dislike, and I think are not worth watching. But I wouldn't consider this like one that I hate. I'm just bored.
Yeah.
And I also don't like the theme, but that's different.
Yeah. The theme song, it's kind of weird. I don't hate it, but
No, not the theme song. The thematic,
the overall
season.
theme of the story.
Oh,
like
yeah. I feel like it's a
the
good
entire
concept.
number one thing.
I feel like it's a good concept, but it really needed to be ironed out a bit more. But yeah, to recap what happened in our last batch. So Hoeru met the woman Mine Takanashi. She's the woman from his memories. She was killed in the Noan world, and she returned out of her wish to be reunited with Hoeru. But then she got killed by Kyuon, and she told Hoeru that she regretted telling him never to have any wishes or desires, because she only told him that because she wanted to keep him safe from the Noan monsters. And now Hoeru was more motivated to find a wish of his own. We had Sumino be reunited with her sister Odo, who had become the bearer of the Shinkenger ring, and she was actually in a coma for all these years, but she was revived thanks to the Shinkenger ring. But then the Shinkenger ring got stolen by Fire Candle, and she returned back to her coma. And now Fire Candle is Shinken Red, and he's using the powers to battle the Gozyugers. And brief recap with who has what rings besides their personal transformation rings. Hoeru has the Dawn Brothers, Jetman, Time Ranger, and Bokenger rings. Rikuo has Sun Vulcan, Zyuohger, and Gal Ranger rings. Ryugi has O Ranger, Ava Ranger, Car Ranger. Kinjiro has Kyoryuger and Kira Major. Sumino has Ryu Soldier, Gingaman, and Go Ranger. Mashiro has Geki Ranger. Kyuon is kind of just filling this race with the Jaka, Dinjaman, G Ranger, Go Sager, Boom Boomger, Live Man, Hurricane, Turbo Ranger, Goggle 5 Men, and Knee Ninja rings. And Fire Candle, he pretty much has the rings that the villains have obtained. So he has his Shinkenger ring, but they've also obtained the Go 5, Go Busters, and Flashman rings. So that brings us to episode 22, Benefit, Annoyance. This is how to save money. Where the plot of this episode is that the Gozyugers are battling against this No-One monster that is the number one at saving money. Just go with it. And while Rikuo gets reunited with this old friend, Fire Candle obtains the Go Busters ring at the beginning when he defeats this random ring bearer. Rikuo confronts Ray. Ray is revealed to be an old acquaintance of his. And he vowed to Ray that he would become the best idol in the world, and he copied Ray a lot, which is why he once actually tried to copy his great eye color. And we find out that Ray kidnapped Dodo. We don't know why he did it. We'll find out a little bit later down the line, but he has a scar from one of his previous experiences with Rikuo. Again, we'll find that out later. And he claims that he once died for Rikuo, and Rikuo feels guilty. He asks Rikuo to do a favor for him. And this episode ends with the Gozyugers battling Fire Candle with Shinken Red, and then Fire Candle gains the upper hand with this Orca Booster weapon that obtains. And then Rikuo he basically shows up and he starts fighting the Gozyugers. A little bit of a fun fact here. Ray is portrayed by Ryoma Baba. We actually do finally have a former Sentai actor here playing a big character here, ladies and gentlemen. He was Ryuji Iwasaki, Blue Buster in Tokime Sentai Go Busters. So we don't just have a veteran Sentai actor here, but we have a veteran Sentai actor from a good Sentai, a much better one that we're watching right now, that's for sure. And he also had a bit role in one episode of Knee Ninja. But the point is he's Blue Buster. But anyway, what do we think about episode 22?
One of my complaints that I've had with the season up to this point is that I know that the running joke is that Hoeru is kind of just like a massive failure all around. And they've kind of given everybody like an episode to, I guess, not necessarily show their abilities, but have like a proper like number one battle of some kind. But he really hasn't had one because he's kind of been the butt of every joke.
Yeah.
I mean, this is still technically like a butt of a joke because, you know, he's like, well, he's a cheapskate, but then twisting it into a thing of enjoying the simplicities of life type of thing. I kind of like what they did with this. I wish they did it earlier because Hoeru has been needing an episode like this for a while, but you know, better late than never.
I mean, that's kind of been my feedback as well on this episode, Patrick, is that Hoeru's been lacking a lot in this one, like in the season as a whole. Like he has just been kind of there. And
Which is
I mean, I agree with you that it's nice he finally got something, but to me, it's too little, too late.
yeah.
I mean, like if this is like a two-parter and they spent more time on him really thinking it out and just digging in himself and some past and stuff, this would have been a lot stronger. But it's a one episode and done.
Yeah, it probably needed to be a little bit longer because, I mean, he's the main character. It's clear that they've written him to be the center focus of this season.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just really doesn't feel this. It's not quite as bad as Mystic Force, where Nick was clearly meant to be the main character and the center focus of the show, but they didn't bother writing a character for him. But this is it kind of has that same vibe of, you guys should be putting a little bit more effort into this guy if you want him to have, if you want to put him in that very important role you're putting him into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and that's my thing, right? Like, however, when we first started watching, I was like, okay, I don't quite know, like, because you guys kept saying he's going to be very unique, very different from the other Reds we've had. And in the beginning, yeah, okay, I could see, like, the intrigue of his character. Like, he was definitely not the typical hothead. He was not typical stoic. He was something a little bit different. But then he didn't get focused and he didn't really get development. So he just kind of went from being interesting to being stagnant. And I think if they built on this episode more and like future episodes, which spoilers, as far as I've seen so far, they haven't, then this could have been a really good turning point for him. But making it a one-off, I think that kind of hurt it in the long run.
And that point you were making about us thinking that he could have been a unique Red, from a personality perspective, I still think he is rather unique for a Red. It's just like, yeah, they haven't done anything with him because he seems very like quiet and to himself. He's a lot more passive as a passive personality wise, which is very unorthodox for a Red. There's just nothing really done with him. Like he is a massive example of wasted potential so far.
I mean, he's not like a typical Red from Sentai, but he's a very typical like anime male protagonist type character.
Yeah.
Where he's
Mhm.
kind of run
Yeah.
down, beat up, not really given much to do. And he's the butt of all the jokes. I mean, I'm thinking a little bit Anthony and Nate of Deku, the early Deku, not like later Deku.
Yeah.
From My Hero Academia. They're very similar in that aspect, except Deku went from being that loser to having a defined goal and story and progression pretty quick. He didn't stay like that for long. And that's kind of the beauty of Deku, but Poirot, he needs more, man. He needs way more than he's getting.
I mean, that genuinely is a good example, and that's kind of where I think his potential lies, is because this show felt like at the beginning it was his story of not knowing what he wanted and then growing into somebody who knew what he wanted and was fighting for it. But it really doesn't feel like we've made much progress from episode 1.
And you would think that after losing, like, basically the girl that, he idolized, losing her, you think that would have, got him, he would be, like, okay, I got to stay focused. I got to, the stuff's getting real now. I need to, like, set my game up. But
that episode in hindsight is actually kind of infuriating because that episode was a perfect turning point for his character. Like the person who told him to not have any wishes told him that she said that to him to keep him safe and that he needs to, and he has done nothing with that message. You think for how important she was to him, why haven't they pushed him forward from that? I don't get this.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about Mine?
Yeah.
or Mine. I don't know how to say her
Yeah.
name.
Mina.
Yeah.
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 No, I think and that's the other thing. Like, I haven't seen her again or really mentioned again after that.
Exactly. It's like that episode should have been the moment where his character pivoted in another direction, but it just felt like a filler episode in hindsight.
Yeah, and that's what I've been complaining about. Like these characters, we're spending more time on these one-off characters that are on for like a two-parter and getting invested in them, and then the main characters are not really getting much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Nathan, you actually missed another Sentai cameo actor. But this, of course, you didn't know this yet because you haven't got to that season yet. So, as it turns out that the Red Buster Sentai Ranger that you saw earlier, he was portrayed by Hirofumi Suzuki, who also previously played as Kichino from Dawn Brothers. He was the pink
Oh,
Sentai Ranger.
okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? He was wearing pink in the show too, so that was kind of ironic.
Oh wow. But yeah, it's
Well, I can see why you missed it because you didn't get to
Yeah.
his season yet, so that's probably why you didn't recognize him.
yeah, I'll be on Dawn Brothers soon enough though.
Yeah.
It's still cool that they got Ryuji though to come back because I mean Ryuji was a cool character. So
I thought that was pretty funny that he turned into Go Buster and he also appeared in the actor who's in Go Busters was also in the episode too. That was very well done.
But while we're on the subject of Blue Rangers, with this whole thing with Rikuo turning evil, I mean, this is the third Sentai in a row where we've had Blue kind of go rogue because Yanma had the occasional moments where he would kind of go rogue on the King Ogers, and Ishiro going rogue was a whole thing in the in-game arc in Boom Boomger. And I'm just gonna say that those two Sentais did this way better than this, and I feel like they're only doing that because I don't know. I guess the Reiwa era wants to make Trader Blue Rangers a regular thing now.
Well, I mean, if you think back as well, Nate, Cosmic Fury and Dino Fury with Ollie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a trend that's coming across in the franchise as a whole across both, even though PR is kind of dead at the moment.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's just a trend we're trying to move towards. And I like the trend. Honestly, it's a cool trend, but not every season, y'all.
Not every season.
It's starting to turn into the.
I was gonna say it's starting to turn into like a trope, and it's a requirement now, and I'm not sure I like that. If we skipped like 4 seasons and did it again, okay, awesome. But every season now, when we get to the next season, I'm like, okay, so when is Blue gonna turn on him?
Yeah.
Now it's an expectation.
It's starting to remind me of the trend that they were doing in Sentai like a decade ago, where the Blue Ranger had to make himself like a personal rival to the Red.
Yeah.
A la Ninja, and I hated that trope because it was just the same story every season.
But even then, at least they weren't doing that in like back-to-back seasons. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if they do this, God forbid, next Sentai, then at that point it's just going to become super annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do we want to give a 22 out of 10?
Probably
like a 7.
6.
I'll probably give it 6, honestly.
I think a 6 is appropriate. Yeah.
I do want to give this episode props for maybe having my favorite joke in Sentai history. At the very end, he was like, "Kill me and have me go on a giant fiery explosion." He was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And then he just like poofs out.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I was gonna alter my score back down to a 6 to match y'all, but then I heard you say that, so it's gonna get a 6.25.
Yeah, that joke genuinely had me pause the video for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was pretty hilarious. Yeah.
I've been begging for Sentai to do a little tiny wimpy explosion joke, and they finally did it.
Must have been worth the wait.
Oh, it was. It was totally worth it because they stuck the landing, so it was definitely worth it.
Yeah. But anyway, now we have episode 23, The Lonely Star, Awakened Wolf, where Rikuo goes after Fire Candle, and when he returns to Ray, we find out that Ray is trying to get the Shinkenger ring because he wants to find out it how it was able to awaken Odo from her coma because he believes that he could use the power to save his own life. He claims that Rikuo is responsible for him having died, apparently, and that's why Rikuo is working for him because he feels guilty about it. We find out about this Orca booster weapon, which was previously causing Fire Candle to go crazy. It's a powerful weapon that, if it's used by someone who it thinks is unfit to use it, will be swallowed by a bloodthirsty monster. And then in the next fight, so we have the Gozyugers. They're battling Fire Candle into Shinkenger form, as well as a copy of Juzo Fuwa, because, yeah, I guess we're now making copies of Sentai villains now. Uh, Fire Candle gets overcome by the monster, but then Hoeru gets the Orca booster for himself, because he's able to kind of, because Hoeru is kind of wild and the Orca booster is kind of wild, they're able to kind of bond over that. The Orca booster understands Hoeru because they both have wild natures, and because of this, Hoeru is able to transform into a golden armor version called Wild Goju Wolf. Which, by the way, what do we think about this upgraded form for Goju Wolf?
I like it because it's a lot more subtle than a lot of other power up or battleizers that we've gotten recently.
Yeah.
My only confusion is that why an orca?
Yeah, orcas and wolves, that's kind of a weird combination.
Tell me about it.
I mean, we had whales and eagles and Zeozer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So
Well,
I
that was
thought it was a
more or less like
callback
an
to
animal theme
Zeozer.
season, but like I don't know.
So,
You know
so
what?
is this.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, I just assumed it was it was like a callback to Zeozer, which is like an anniversary season as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that makes
Although,
sense.
Anthony, is it just me or does the design kind of subtly remind me of Oz's Taja Doru, the
You
all
know
red
what? I can see it
form?
too, especially with like
Yeah.
the circle in the front of it. Yep.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is fitting because, I mean, I've watched a couple of more episodes. So, like, the Tajidol form is like his super form. You could kind of call this, I mean, because, well, kind of a spoiler thing here, like, Hoeru's going to get another form down the line as well. Like, this is technically Hoeru's super form, if you think about it. If
Yeah,
he was a
if
common
we're going
rider,
by
this would
Kamen
be
Rider
a super
logic.
form.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's pretty cool design. I can agree with Patrick on its subtlety. Rikuo hears Hoeru's speech about how Rikuo inspired him to make him people happy. He rejoins the team. He helps them fight off Fire Candle uh, and the Juzo copy. Through the Orca booster, we get this new mech called the Orca Booster 5050, which empowers Tegasword to create Tegasword
Ak-
Akatsuki.
Akatsuki,
Akatsuki, yeah. Which,
like
by the
that's
way, what do we
Like
think?
Naruto, like from Naruto.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. What do we think about this new mech form, by the way, guys?
I couldn't even tell it was Tegasword.
Yeah,
I didn't either
It-
because it took up the entire like armor
yeah.
and everything.
I mean,
It's
I
cool
don't
though.
mind it. Once
It's
again,
cool.
subtlety in a good way. Some things in Sentai have been so over designed lately that the season's upgrade forms being so, I guess, simplistic is kind of refreshing.
yeah. I mean, I don't have much to say because I mean, I don't know. Just the fact that like we don't have like a mech where all five of them combined have just kind of caused me to like find the mech line kind of confusing. So it's not that I hate it. It's just kind of meh to me, where it's just kind of hard to keep up with. But I still thought the design was cool. But anyway, so Hueru, he defeats Fire Candle, and by defeating Fire Candle, he gets all of Fire Candle's rings. So he gets the Shinkenger ring, the Go-Go 5 ring, Go Busters, and Flashman rings. And Rikuo rejoins the team. He uses the story that he was simply going undercover to help Hoeru obtain the Orca booster, and we also find out that Ray has his own ring. What does that ring do? Well, we'll find out later on. And he vows to capture what he calls the Infinity, but we'll find out more about that later. What do we think about episode 23, guys?
Before we answer anything, I'm sorry.
Go for it.
I have to ask y'all.
Hmm.
How were we feeling about Fire Candle being a Sentai Ranger?
I kind of like the idea that the rings can be used by anybody, and him being a fire user and then rocking Shinken Red, it just made too much sense.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
But oh well.
No, I'll be honest with you about the Fire Candle thing. I think, like I was mentioning earlier, we've spent a lot more time focusing on the other ring bearers and their story. Fire Candle has one of the best stories so far.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. Like that character, he is low-key carrying this season for me.
I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking the exact same things.
I was about to say Fire Candle's probably the best character in this show.
Yes, Fire Candle is like a main motivator for me right now for this thing, in a time where I have very little motivation for the season to begin with.
And it doesn't help that his actor is like really into it.
Yeah,
he's fun to watch.
I think it's because he's so expressive.
Yeah, and it does wonders for this character, man.
And see, that's the thing. It's like we could have other characters doing stuff like this, but they don't give the main five this level of detail.
Which is a good jumping point to why I have issues with this episode.
Really?
Haru got the...
Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through you.
He's got the itchy trigger finger for the soundboard tonight. Haru, like the explanation that Nate was giving about how he got control of the Orca booster because there were two wild things that understood each other. Bullcrap. That was way too easy. He didn't earn that. That was settled too quickly, too easily. And then mix in Rikuo's like flip back. Like we were just talking about the last two blues, like trader arcs lasting a significant amount of time or having more notable impact. This was just like a blip in the radar. Like this whole episode felt like it should have been like a 3-part or wrapped into one episode.
Yeah, it was too.
It was too fast. Everything was settled and solved too quickly with the most like bare bones explanation for everything. Nothing about this episode felt like it was like a finished product. And it bothered me like crazy.
Yeah, it also bothered me too how, and maybe it was just me, but we're giving Hoeru a power-up form, but this whole time it felt more like a Rikuo episode because we're meeting this villain, Ray, because Ray is going to be a recurring villain, spoiler alert, from here on out. And this villain has a connection to Rikuo, and this whole 2-parter is about him brainwashing, not brainwashing, but blackmailing Rikuo into helping him out. And the climax of this episode is all about Hoeru getting a power form. And they try to weakly say, like, oh, well, the reason why Rikuo plays a big part is because he helped inspire Hoeru to make people happy. But one, that's not been established at all. We've not seen anything to show that. And two, Rikuo doesn't even do anything at the end anyway. So it's like it's like they're trying to jam in Hoaru into an episode, like jamming him getting a big power up form in an episode where he's not the focus.
Yeah, and like I said, this could have been a 3-parter where the two of them have like a bonding experience. Like Hiroru tells him the whole thing of like, well, you inspire me because you try to make people happy. And then Herrera loses control of himself, a la what happened to Fire Candle. And then he's the one who comes and gets Hiroru's mind back in order. And then that way, this could have worked with both of them having benefited from it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's not that hard to make this work, guys.
Also, I'm disappointed in these Rangers, especially Sumino. I'm already wonder why I say that. They didn't find it suspicious that all of a sudden Riku was now on their side again after betraying them, literally.
They don't question it.
They just like go. They just believe in him. Like, oh well, it was a trap to get Fire Candle. Bull crap. If I was Sumino, I'd be like, that doesn't sound right. No, no. I'm not buying
Yeah,
that.
what's hilarious is that like there is going to be like something very soon where we see that Sumino is like randomly discovers Ray like being the one who kidnapped her sister, and it's like you could have had the end of this episode be like the catalyst for like Sumino starts like saying like, I don't know, there's something about Rikuo that seems really off, and then she tries to
I've
dig a little
been
bit deeper into it.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for like 5 episodes for this realization to hit her since it came up. And you're right, it should have happened now. This is a good time for it.
Yeah.
And I think this is because they're dropping the ball on writing stories for the main 5. They're just dropping the ball, and that's really kind of sad to me because Sumino is the best of the 5 to me. Polar, I think, is giving her a good run for her money though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what do we want to get? I don't think I can give this anything higher than like maybe a 5 or a 6 out of 10 because I don't know,
Yeah.
like the stuff with, I mean, the fact that like this feels like a Rikuo episode, but then Howeru comes in and makes a big speech that doesn't feel earned, and then on top of him getting a power up that just doesn't feel earned, like, yeah, this episode doesn't really cut it for me.
Mm-mm. It's like a 4, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
That's where I was going to go with it as well as like a 4 because this is they're dropping the story and I just hate it. Like, do the story well and make it interesting and compelling.
Yep.
One thing that I'm starting to realize about this season is that it seems like this season is trying to be more episodic because we haven't had any of these like 4 or 5 episode length story arcs that other seasons, have. They'll have a 1 or 2-part episode thing where they do a lot of stuff at once, and then they'll have like a string of like 5 or 6 like filler episodes that get like some rings checked off the list, and then they'll have like a 1 or 2-part, like story centric. Like if they did these 4 or 5 episode arc things, it would help in some capacity. Because I don't know if I'm the only one that's noticed this.
Now the whole structure seems weird because like there was a point where they were like doing 2-part episodes where like you have this new ring bearer of the day and debuting a new ring, and it felt like okay, they're kind of going the 2010s Kamen Rider route where you have 2-parter episodes, but then all of a sudden you're gonna have like these big like you're gonna have like 1 filler episode that's just by itself, and then like you could get another 3-part episode where like something is happening, or you get like a string of episodes where something seems like vaguely connected. Like it's oddly structured and not in a good way.
Yeah, because this should have been like a 3-parter, the whole Tega June and Goju Polar episode, like universe reset thing, should have been at like 4 or 5. But those were like 3. Those were like what, 3 in 1 episode a piece or something like that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But
And speaking, go ahead, Anthony. Go ahead.
But I will say this though, I'm actually gonna give this a 6.5 because the bouquet fire candle reunion that made me laugh the most because she was like, oh, you know what? I messed up so badly. Please hit me now. She's like, no, I won't do it.
She
does it.
destroyed his kidney.
Yeah, she said, I thought she was gonna be a like little tap, and then she's like, nope, I'm gonna straight punch you in the gut. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, Fire
I didn't expect
Candle and
it.
Bouquet's relationship is oddly cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of a weird structure, where now all of a sudden the series is going back to doing those 2-part episodes revolving around the Sentai. So we're getting a 2010s Common Rider style type of episode. So episode 25 and 24 and 25 are a 2-part episode, which is basically a tribute to Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, which is a Sentai that I finished watching all the way through not too long ago, by the way. So I kind of get a lot of the references here. But anyway, so there's 2 ring bearers. There's one Lupin Red and the other Pat Rin Ichigo. They're battling each other. The Lupin Red is using these powers to turn people into Ranger keys. Yes, the Gokaiger Ranger keys, just Gokaiger style Ranger keys, just so we're clear. Which I guess is kind of a reference to how when Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, all of the Lupin treasure items of the day were like repainted props that were previously used in Sentai. I guess that's meant to be a reference, but I don't know if that's intentional or not. But yeah, he's turning people into Ranger keys. The Pat Rin Ichigo guy is a student named Iki, and he's trying to protect the school from this phantom thief, which is the Lupin Red guy, because that was the whole thing with Lupin versus Pat Ranger. And one of the students tells Sumino and Kinjiro about it and how odd her school is, and they opt to investigate, but then they discover that the school's been taken over by a Noan monster. It's turning youthful people to basically have this new mindset, and they fall about just and all the Gojoogers fall victim, but then Lupin Red reveals himself as a teacher, the former principal, school's janitor, but he threw it all away, and um, he had everything stolen from him, and he wants to protect his students. So Bondo, he enlists Samino, Kenji, and Mashiro's help to stop the Noan monster. They all get new rings. Sumino gets the Mega Ranger ring, Kinjiro gets the Bioman ring, and Mashiro gets the Gokaiger ring, and they free the other Gojoogers and from the Noan spell, and then they defeat it. But then this new Noan reveals himself, declares the school to be a prison, and then when it attacks Punk Run, Ichigo, Bondo shows up, and he takes the hit, and that causes Iki to be shot because the Phantom Thief that he's been fighting all this time is actually the principal he once looked up to. We're going into the second half of the story with the next episode, but what do we think about this one?
This is going back to the thing Riz was talking about. Who cares? Why do these guys get a 2-parter?
That's I was like, whoa.
We literally just got done with an episode that was meant to be a development moment for 2 of the main characters. It was a 1-part.
Yeah.
And then we get this stupid school thing with people we're never going to see after this, and they get a 2-parter? Man, screw this.
And you know what makes this worse? What does Lupin versus Ranger have anything to do with my school?
I don't.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Like, come on. Their priorities are all out of whack in this season, man.
And I feel like this episode is failing us with that because one of the things that Bondo gives to the Gojoogers is the Mega Ranger ring. Mega Ranger would have been exactly the high school theme.
Yeah, see, there's your funny little Mega Ranger reference. You like us, right? Shut up. Like,
Shut up.
where is Kenta? Like, come on.
Yeah.
This is like this. I know that I've been like an overly harsh critic on Gokaiger over the years because I do think the show has a lot more flaws than people are willing to give it credit for. This is genuinely making Gokaiger look better by happenstance by doing everything that Gokaiger did wrong. By doing everything Gokaiger did right, the season's doing it wrong.
And that's the problem. And I mentioned this in the first or second podcast on Gozyuger. I was like, look,
yes,
we're gonna have Gokaiger fatigue here because Gokaiger already hit out the park. You can't replicate Gokaiger and do it again. If you're gonna replicate Gokaiger, just get the 5 main characters back and do a season 2 of Gokai, because you're not gonna be able to replicate it otherwise. Like okay, so it made sense the way they did an anniversary for Zyuger, like having a quick little celebration with the Gokais.
Yeah.
And even Senkaiser, from what I've seen of it, that season did it well because they didn't focus on the past as heavy as this one. Like, yeah, they had the gears, but it wasn't as, in depth.
Yeah.
This one, they're like, yo, let's have rando characters who have no relevance to the season that we're trying to honor, and then just sew their suits on scene and be like, oh, look, we're doing an anniversary like Gokaiger because we brought all the suits back. No, that's not what I care about. I don't care about seeing the freaking suits again. I care about seeing the lore and the stories. Part of the charm of Gokaiger was seeing stuff like Domon come back later and having a kid and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was meaningful to me. Or like, seeing Guy, like all that stuff. That's all meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't meaningful. Not to me anyway.
No, because like it's trying to do the Gokaiger thing without actually doing the Gokaiger stuff. I'm now officially deeming the season Temu Gokaiger.
Yep, that's.
So don't make me put in the tagline for this podcast because I will.
I kind of set that up hoping you would make that the title of this episode. Temu Gokaiger. That's what I'm deeming this season now. Because it feels like a cheap knockoff.
Look, we gotta make a meme now. Mom, can we go get Gokaiger? We have Gokaiger at home.
Gokaiger at home.
And okay, if you wanted to make an episode like this work, okay, so you could have. I mean, King Jiro's whole thing is that he wants to is that he wanted to kind of return to his youth. So you could have him. I mean, if I remember correctly, it was either one of his sons or one of his grandsons, I think, that was attending school with him. So you could have him and his son slash his grandson slash classmate be going through some issues at school, and one of the ring bearers is using the Mega Red key. And I use the Mega Red thing because, Mega Red, Mega Ranger's whole thing was that they were in high school. And you don't have to have this whole concept of like there being this one student that's using the Patren Ichigo key ring to protect the school, and then there's like a phantom thief also running around the school. Like this whole episode, the more I just watch it, it's just like a seriously like WTF type of concept. Because I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to really sum up just how much this whole thing just doesn't make any sense.
No, it's like, man, what is going on in this school?
Yeah,
what is going on here?
Like, if you wanted to do this better, like, you could have, I don't know, like, when you eventually wanted to do the Lupin versus Pat Ranger thing, like, maybe you could have done, like, maybe you could have done something that, like, combines that Sentai with the Deca Rangers, because Deca Ranger and Pat Ranger were both police themed. Like, try to be a bit more creative with how you combine your tribute episodes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
Yeah, like
this
now
was
that
not the way to do that.
now that you say it, the Decker Ranger key not being here is like, I feel like this was so obvious.
Yeah. And again,
And
I don't know if it's just a coincidence or not, but I really don't. Well, okay, maybe it was because you don't have the Turbo Ranger. You don't have the Turbo Ranger and 5-man rings there because they were also school related because the Turbo Rangers were high school students too, and the 5 men were all teachers. So although then again, I think the 5-man ring has already been around, but so but I don't know. I can't help but just feel like you intentionally put the Mega Ranger ring in here just to troll us with the fact that, like, oh, you know that there's other Sentai rings that we could use for a high school episode, but we're not going to do it. But we are going to screw with you by showing you it in this episode. That's just vibes that
no,
I'm getting. And
That's
I
that
know, like
weird, bizarre laziness.
it feels almost insulting to those of us who like Mega Ranger.
yeah,
Like in Gokaiger, when we saw Kenta return as a high school teacher, we found that hilarious given his story arc in Mega Ranger. And it
yeah,
was like, it was endearing and it showed that, hey, he actually did grow from the end of that season. Here it just feels like they're kicking me in the shin.
yeah. So yeah, this is honestly, the more I think about it, I'm probably thinking like a 3, probably,
I
because
was
yeah,
about to say 3 myself. And we haven't even
Yeah.
gotten to part 2 yet, which also I still don't care there either.
yeah.
it just adds to the nonsense.
Riz.
I'm just amused that I don't have to be the one to rant anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're doing it for you, aren't we?
it's finally
great.
starting to catch up to the rest of us.
Yeah.
I like how I'm the one that saw it first, and you guys were like, "Oh no, Riz, this is great. We're loving it." I'm like, "Okay, all right,
I mean, this one in
cool."
Oh,
particular was just
so
annoying for me because I watched it like not too long after I finished watching Lupin versus Plant Ranger. So it's like I know what that whole Sentai is about, and this episode has like literally zero to do with the whole concept of that Sentai. And it's just starting to while taking a concept that does have a lot to do with the premises of other Sentai, and it's just so bizarre to watch, and it really gets under my skin. But yeah, you were gonna say
and then
something, Anthony?
I was gonna say that there was like a later episode that I'm really gonna like rant on, and it's gonna freaking annoy me. But we haven't. I don't think it's in this part. I don't think.
Well, we'll get to
Well,
that
when we
soon
get
enough.
there, I'm ready for it.
Let the hate flow through you.
Riz has gotten very he's fallen in love with that sound bit. Um, but anyway, now we have episode 25. The gutsy police are in the clear. Pretty much the second part of this, where we find out that the principal guy had been too busy to spend time with his daughter. She got engulfed by that no-one monster, and now he's determined to save his daughter no matter what. And he goes to confront the monster. Iki is discouraged because he was so easily influenced by the other no-one monster. The other Gozyugers, they have to battle Q-on against his ranger clones without their rings. And Hoeru helps, Iki regain his fighting spirit. And they rejoin the Gozyugers and they defeat the monster. And they free him. So the whole day is saved, but more importantly, Hoeru gets the Pat Ranger and Lupin Ranger rings, while and during the fight with Q-on, Mashiro actually steals some of Q-on's rings. He gets the G Ranger, Hurricane Ranger, and Boom Boomer rings in this episode. So yeah, some more ring battles. What do we think about episode 25?
I don't care. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't.
care. This is the episode they could have made into one.
Yeah.
And I don't care. Let's give it a number and move on. I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, I think most of the stuff I have to say about this just kind of applies to the previous one. It's like you have a high school episode, but it's a tribute episode about a Sentai that has nothing to do with high school, and you're trolling us because you're showing us a ring that is from a Sentai that had everything to do with high school. It's like you're looking at us, you're giving us a big middle finger, and you don't care. So, yeah, but I'm going to give it a 3 like the previous episode.
Mm-hmm. Ditto.
No, I'm going with a 2. F it.
Fair.
Because
bit.
I
3.
was struggling at this point of watching. I was like, please go back to the main 5 where we belong.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. I just want to see the main 5 I want Semino to mean something at the end. I want whoever to have some kind of something.
Yeah.
Yellow and green, I still don't care about. Blue is still okay, but I wanted black and red to have some good stuff.
Yep. Anthony, what do you want to give it out of 10?
Oh, I gave it a 30. You must not have heard me.
Oh, okay.
3.
Cool.
3. Sorry. I'm like at 33.
All right. But now we have another episode that we'll be able to get through pretty quick. Episode 26, Close to the Secret. Hoaru Tono was a new employee. This is basically a glorified clip show episode. Hoaru gets a job working for the Toei company. The Gozyugers are being interviewed, and while they're being interviewed, we see a lot of flashbacks as the Gozyugers give their personal backstories on how they became Gozyugers. The only notable thing is that the character of the day in this episode is a producer named Kazu Sekimoto. Kazu Sekimoto is actually played by the actor Seki Tomokazu, so his character's name is kind of a rearranging of the kanji that make up his actual name. He's a very famous voice actor. He's actually done a lot of tokusatsu work. He is the narrator of Gokaiger, and he also does the voice of all their equipment. So when the Mo Byron does like the whole or the that's him. He did all the equipment in Ryu Soldier, and he was the voice of Bulldot in O Ranger, and the voice of Guy Solg, that's Void Knight's counterpart in Ryu Soldier, and
Wow.
he's very famous in a lot of anime roles. He voiced Domon Kashu and G Gundam,
Yes.
Enrico, Pookie in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean, and he's also my personal favorite. He voiced one of my favorite characters in Demon Slayer, the Wind Hashira, Saname Shinazugawa. Yeah, my tongue always gets tied when I say his name, but yeah, that's an awesome character. So just really cool voice actor. It's too bad that he's in a kind of a type of Sentai, but at least he voiced all the Gokaiger equipment, so he's got that going for him.
Yep.
So I like him for having that credit in his past. This episode, though, put me to sleep.
Yeah,
I'll
Could
say
have skipped this, honestly.
I'll say this for a concept for a clip show. This is hilarious.
yeah,
Working at Toei, having them have like the filming of like an interview feature movie about them, and him not being there for some reason, like Haru not being a part of the thing. It's hilarious. Why is this in episode 26?
Yeah.
This is 20 episodes too early.
yeah,
It is. And like also the other piece is if we're gonna have an episode on the 5, do we have an actual episode about them and not a clip show?
Yeah,
I don't want a clip show. Not this early.
there's no reason for a clip show this early.
Yeah, they also did a clip show episode kind of early in King Oger too. Like they had a brief recap, which I mean, now granted they would go on to have another clip show later, but that that was on a completely different level. It was where we found out all about Rathless's story, but
the best clip show ever.
yeah. But yeah, clip show, I don't know. Yeah, this is definitely too early to do a clip show episode. And unless they do another clip show episode, like how they did the whole thing with Rathless and King Oger, but I'm willing to bet money that they are not going to do something like that. So yeah, this is bad.
Anybody want to say 3 again?
Yeah, I think 3 is
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
I was
Right.
going to go 3 for this because, come on, do something interesting.
Yep. All right,
Yeah.
episode 27, Win the Battle, Get Rich Quick. This is all about, this is a Mashiro episode where, so basically Buket, she declares her love for Rikuo, and that causes Kyuon to brand her a traitor, and he shoots her. That causes her to lose her memory, and she finds Mashiro, and she follows him, thinking that he'll help her regain her memory. They go on adventures where he's making money, and she learns that he's a good person deep down because he uses the money he makes to buy dinner for the townspeople. The main 5 Gozyugers, they get invited to a tour of Kyuon's AI company, and the right-hand man, Setsuna, gives them a tour, but then he reveals that he has the Battle Fever ring, so he can become Battle Japan. He wants to surpass Kyuon as number 1 at the company, and then the episode ends on a cliffhanger where Fire Candle comes to get Buket, and Setsuna abducts her because apparently she's an AI life form that Kyuon had talked about, but we'll go into more detail in the next episode. What do we think about this one?
Okay, so I'm going to start off here because I have lots of thoughts on this one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go negative then positive because I do have positives on this one. On the negative end, this should not have been given to Polar to be like the focus with Bouquet.
Yeah.
It should have been freaking Hoero.
Or
This is like a perfect setup for him because it's all about money and making money. What did he just do in the last one? So how he can save money. So now he can show how he makes money.
or shoot, even
If it's
Rikuo
perfect.
because she has a thing for him.
No,
Like, it's-
I'm okay with it. I like the idea of focusing on her love for him without him being there.
Okay.
Because
Fair
that's
enough.
a positive. Because there, we're building her character, and I'm actually falling in love with her character. I think she's a great character.
I like her too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the positives. I think Bouquet was a great character. I think this episode is actually really good, but I wish we had given it to Hoero rather than Polar.
I need to say something about Polar. Am I the only one here that's getting sick of him?
I'm sick of his like
And-
love of money. That's
He's a one-note character. Like he keeps running up a price tag on people every time he breathes. That was funny the first time. And his whole talking down to everybody that moves thing got old real quick also.
yeah.
You haven't shown to me that you're better than everyone else, so stop acting like you are.
Yeah, totally.
The next episode doesn't help either. It makes me even more annoyed by him.
Yeah, I agree. Polar is a one-trick pony in terms of what he does, but I still prefer him to Green and Yellow.
I mean, fair
That's-
enough.
I mean, that's not a hard bar to put him over, but
No, but it's still a bar.
eh.
Oh, and also Setsuna, if you want to be a more intimidating villain of the day of the episode, you probably shouldn't be using the Battle Fever ring. 'Cause, yeah, I had to take a jab at the Battle Fever J at some point here. So
Okay, so let me say something. The Monster Shinken Red costume we got a few episodes ago was genuinely kind of awesome. This evil Battle Japan costume is the stupidest looking thing I've ever seen.
You know what's funny? I actually had the opposite effect. I actually liked how the suit got upgraded.
Really?
Yeah.
It might be due to the fact that the base costumes, like the Shinken red costume, it just dunks the Battle Japan costume.
I don't
But
know why, but it sort
Yeah.
of reminds me of a character from Zenkaiger. I'm not sure if Riz got to that point yet.
What?
Stacy's are?
Nope. No, you're
Oh,
talking about. Carry on.
okay. So you haven't got to that point yet. Okay.
is he
Once you
is
see
he
the
that
costume, you'll be like, oh, that's what you meant.
is he that purple guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen his costume in passing from pictures and everything, and that's what it reminded me of.
Is that why you don't
I
like
didn't
it? Is that why you
I
like
didn't I
it?
didn't I didn't like that costume either.
Okay.
I mean, for me, the whole thing is just that I mean, I guess I technically like that upgraded suit just from a technical standpoint, because anything is better than those Battle Fever suits, but that's not saying much. But yeah, what do we want to give 27 out of 10?
I don't know, 5.
It's a bit better. So yeah, it's
No,
a 5.
I'm going with a 7 because of Bouquet.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you know
7
what?
is appropriate.
Yeah.
Bouquet stole it from me, man. I mean, I would have gone with a 5 if it was not for Bouquet, but Bouquet was great. I thought she was amazing, but I still got to deduct some points for everything else.
I'm
Yeah.
just kind of curious how she's gonna react when she finds out that the Take-a-Sword blue sheep been fighting this whole time is actually Rikuo. I'm not sure how she feel about that.
Yeah. But anyway, now we have episode 28, Dancing with Love. This is the Star AI, where Setsuna's holding Bouquet hostage. All of the Gozyugers except Toeru and Mashiro are also being held hostage, and they're connected to devices on their heads that have them put to sleep and trapped into their dreams, where they're living their deepest desires, but then they have them torn away. So Rikuo's at a concert. Ray congratulates him. Ryugi's just continuing to be a Tega sword fanatic. Sumino gets reunited with Odo. Kinjiro gets reunited with his wife also having been restored to her youth. Um, Mashiro and Hoeru fight against Ranger copies of other Gojoojers. Fire Candle confronts Boked and calls out to her, and he uses a photo of Rikuo to get through to her, and she ultimately turns back to normal. When Setsuna rips the photo in half, she's able to free herself. The Gojoojers free themselves from Setsuna too, and they help Hoeru and Mashiro fight off the Ranger copies, and then they defeat Setsuna and in his Battle Japan form, and then Boked finishes him off for good. So that's all of episode 28, the last episode of this match. What do we think about it?
I was amused with the AI plot, but
Yeah.
I think there's too many things happening in here.
I mean, again, I kind of like the stuff with Boked, although I don't think that they're gonna go much further with giving Boked more of a backstory other than that she's just an AI life form. But and again, it's sad how she and Fire Candle are like the two most compelling characters in this Sentai, but that made this episode a little bit more tolerable compared to some of the other episodes. And again, I mean, you're making what's supposed to be the Battle Fever tribute episode basically a villain focused episode. I mean, I guess I can't necessarily object to that because Battle Fever J was boring, so you can't really do much with a tribute episode for it. I mean, even when Gokaiger did a tribute episode to Battle Fever J, it was more of just the Christmas episode with a last minute Battle Fever J tribute thing added into it. So
Wait,
yeah,
Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong. Did the actor who plays that character, wasn't he also Kirame Blue?
maybe let me check. That because I could wait. Oh man, yeah, you're right. I didn't note it on here. Yeah, he did play Kirame Blue. Well,
Wow.
he was a better character than in Kira Major, at least.
Yeah.
Although even then, he's the weakest Kira Major that I've seen so far. So that's not.
But that's not really too bad at least. Because I mean, like I said, at least I'm glad you at least enjoyed the show for the most part.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be getting back to it soon and hopefully be able to review that. But okay, yeah, there's another Sentai Ranger, but you're doing him a disservice because he used to wear that really awesome Kira Major suit. Now you have him wearing one of the worst suits in Sentai. So
Right.
thanks a lot,
How
Toei. You
embarrassing.
did this guy a great favor. But yeah, anybody want to add anything about this one?
No, I got my foot halfway out the door on this video. Let's just go.
7. No, I'm gonna go to 5 on this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
fair.
I have
fair
to.
enough.
I want to get something on my chest before we say something. So
Go ahead.
we find out the reason why Gozu Puller is the way he is because apparently in his past life as Gozu Wolf, apparently one of the other Gozugers was like, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing things for free. You should be getting paid." I'm just like, dude, mind your business.
Nah.
Yeah, that was mentioned. That was bad.
So the rule of this season, based off of Hororu, and this is take the first thing that someone tells you at face value and make that your whole life.
Pretty
God,
much.
I'm
that's
not going to have any wishes. I'm going to charge everybody money for breathing in my general direction. What a
I mean,
stupid show this is.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think everybody else has been trying to be a bit more optimistic over it, while Riz was a bit harsher, but I think everybody's fully on Riz's side at this point.
I like to let a show win me over or turn me away because I wasn't too fond of King Oger when it started, and then it grew on me over time. And this one,
Yeah.
like it,
Yeah,
I
but
was
see,
I was interested to see where this went because I thought the premise was cool, and it's just they don't have a clue what they're doing with this season.
here's the thing with whenever I give a disposition like that, Pat, I'm normally pretty consistent. Like, if I don't like it in the beginning, I'm probably not gonna like it at the end. And likewise, if I like it or if I think it's meh, I'm gonna continue that throughout, unless something crazy happens, which rarely happens, honestly.
Shinkenger, kind of.
Stinkinger's the only one where I flipped.
Yeah.
Like,
Didn't you kind of flip with Magi Ranger? I mean, I know you never hated it, but you're starting to kind of like it a lot more than you previously did.
no, but with Monster Ranger, I never said I don't like it. I just
Yeah, I know.
was not engaged in it. But now I'm getting a bit more into it as we get further in.
Yeah.
That's different than me saying, "Oh, Z Ranger's gonna be mid all throughout," or me saying that a certain season is one of the worst things I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah. Well, did you know that you were gonna like Go On? Well, because I know that like you didn't get like super truly engaged until the wings came in, but did you like it at least
No,
early
I was
on?
into no, I was into it from the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah, he
okay.
was enthusiastic. I think he was kind of riding the high that you and me were giving him, like the pre-show hype.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
Go On.
hype. That wasn't the reason why I liked it though. Go On's there for me. I just liked Sosuke a lot. I thought he was a
Yeah.
decent character, and I rode that high of Sosuke until the other characters started to flesh themselves out more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is funny because a lot of people were trying to tell me, "Oh, you're not gonna like Sosuke." I'm like, "Why? He's awesome. If you don't like Sosuke, something's wrong with you."
Yeah, well, these are the same people that like John, but they hate Sosuke, so
They
Right, and
like
that's the thing. It's like
Hmm?
that's what I never understood. Why did I like one but not the other?
yeah. But yeah, to
Especially
kind
when
of
one is clearly more stupid than the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, do we want to say anything else before we go on to like the Rangers? Like, do we want to say anything else about Fire Candle and Boquet? Because with the other ones, I mean, Q1 hasn't really done much since he first appeared, and Queen Tegajune is just typical big bad villain, doesn't do much, and that whole Mr. and Mrs. Knifecake villain. Well, okay, they might do a little bit more in the next batch, but here they're just
Yeah.
kind of a boring, dumb general type of thing. But do we want to add anything about Fire Candle and Boquet?
No, I think we've said what we needed to about them up to this point.
Yeah.
I think Fire Candle and Boquet have broken one of my things that I've been having trouble with lately in Sentai,
Yeah.
and that's typically I don't really give a rat's you know what about the villain faction.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really cared too much about any villain faction since Zetman.
I thought the
Because-
three-seaters last season were
Yeah.
great.
Okay, yeah, no, three-seaters were great, but they were not the main.
Yeah,
like,
fair enough.
faction.
Fair enough.
No, three-seaters were like a comedy. They're like a Bulk and Skull of the season for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that means I cannot wait for y'all to get the Dawn Brothers, because I promise you'll like the antagonists more in that show. Yeah, at
Yeah,
first you
so-
probably won't like them, but I just have this feeling I know you're probably gonna like the Dawn Brothers antagonists more. I promise you guys. I know I've said before, like, oh, this is great. When you get to that season, sure, it's crazy as I don't know what. Nothing will make sense to you at first. But I promise you, the characters do develop and they do grow as people.
Hmm. But even then, though,
But
like
yeah.
with the villains from the previous two ones, like, okay, the King Ogre villains were pretty cliched, but Dog Dead at least came off as very intimidating when you kind of realize just how big of a threat level he was. And with the Hashirians, the Spider guy, like the main villain, like he had a lot of presence about him. Like,
Mhm.
but with the main villain here, like with Queen Tegajune, like she's just a typical evil, ominous head that's in the back of the ship. So it's like the main villain from like Five Man, and Five Man is one villain faction that you don't want to be compared to because those villains are boring. So yeah, I mean, Fire Candle and Boquet are basically carrying these villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like we haven't had a good like villain faction in a while because even I don't know what's her name, the little thing on the wall.
Tegajune.
Yeah, Tegajune. That Tegajune is not really well developed yet, but at least she's kind of active with the villains and they're discussing and talking and doing villainy kind of things.
Yeah.
But like the Bandor crew, they were not that engaging. They're not that interesting. The Messine Empire was all right, and O-Ranger, like they're okay. They just didn't have much personality, honestly.
Yeah.
Not until a little kid became the big guy. Then it got fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Geki had some good villains. I'll give him that. Yeah, so I mean, I think there's a couple of good and bad, but overall, I haven't really liked villains like this in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jetman's still the standard when it comes to villains, but I think that these two are doing a pretty dang good job of standing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's worth talking about. Plus, we're getting a lot of good character development for them organically. Like, this entire bouquet losing her memory was pretty fun. I like that.
Yeah.
And then Fire Candle, he's literally like MVP right now for this freaking season.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of like Rio was the MVP for the Sentai that you hate more than anything, huh, Riz?
Ryu made the Sentai that I hate more than anything at least have one thing that I could say, okay, they did one thing okay.
Yeah. But anyway, enough on that. We're gonna wrap this up by doing our updated mid-season tier rankings. I can't remember what we did for the when we previously did it, and frankly, I think that a lot of these have probably changed so dramatically that I don't think I should even care enough to look back what we said. So yeah, what's starting with Hilary? What do we want to do for a tier ranking for him among other Reds? I'm
That's
Is
that's
C
what we're
too
trying to figure it out.
is C too high?
No, I think C is where I was going to put him too.
Okay.
Because okay, so here's the thing. Clara's not a bad red.
No.
He's just an underdeveloped red,
Yes.
which doesn't make him terrible. It just makes him boring. And that's my contention with Herrera is he's boring right now.
Yeah, it makes him frustrating because you see what he could be, and the writers just aren't trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It like Riz, you keep comparing him to like Deku from My Hero Academia. Like that does make him unique because the only type of comparison you could have is like maybe Ryuma from Gingaman, where he starts off kind of goofy and clumsy, but comes into his own. But even then, that's not a perfect comparison by any means. So it does make Hoeru very unique, but I don't feel like they're committed to focusing on that, and that really hurts it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But I think C is appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Rikuo Blue.
I go ahead.
I used to call him the weak link. I don't think he's the weak link anymore, but that's not necessarily because he's gotten better. It's more because another character has kind of lost a lot of stock from me to the point where he's become the weak link. So I don't know if I had Rikuo in the C or D tier before, but yeah, he's not done anything to warrant any change in that ranking for
He's
me.
low C.
He's a C tier for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gotten a little better, but like I feel like once more stuff needs to happen with him. But I do like the fact that he's a part of like Sumino's I guess sister issues or whatever. So it's like
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
think
conflict that's gonna happen.
yeah, I think he has the most potential to jump up the list a little bit if they do what they should do with what they're planting with him.
Yeah.
But this season hasn't proven to me that they can do that yet, so I'm withholding that.
They can't write.
Eh.
All right, now we can do Ryugi, yellow.
Oh
D.
boy. Yeah.
He gets better. Like, you haven't got to his better half yet,
I've
but he still
heard.
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I've
No, people tell me
heard what
he's
happens.
good. I don't know what happens. I've not been spoiled yet, but
Yeah.
I've never liked him from the get go. I've never liked his character. I've always thought he was really annoying,
Mhm.
and so he's solidly in D unless something drastically changes, which sounds
Yeah.
like it might. But even then, I don't expect to be like a big revelation for him because his character is
Yeah.
that weak to me.
Yeah, I've heard and seen some snippets of what happens. I don't know the finer details. I'm curious to see where that goes. But yeah, I think I like how over the top and ridiculous his personality is, but like,
Yeah.
everything else about him is just like non-existent. He's a D tier character for sure.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too. He's the character that lost some stock for me just because when I first saw him, I kind of liked him because I thought, okay, yeah, he's kind of like a cool little throwback to some old Showa era Yellow Rangers where he's a strong guy and he's a comic relief character, kind of like what the original Key Ranger was. Vol Panther was like that, Goggle Yellow. I thought it was cool, but though but then after a while, you kind of realize that he's a one-dimensional character, and that whole character gimmick just kind of overstates its welcome way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to
And
take a sword summon one more time,
yeah, and we know his backstory, which is why he's like that, but I still just find that to be a little too silly for my liking. So, yeah, I really liked Ryugi when I first saw him, but after that really good first impression that I got, it's just been nothing but downhill since
Mm-hmm.
then. So, yeah,
that
Like
backstory
I
will be
was
important
telling
later,
you,
by the
Nate.
way.
what's that, Riz?
It's like I was trying to tell you, but nobody
Yeah,
wants to listen to Riz. Just
but yeah,
saying. I've been calling it from the beginning.
yeah, okay, yeah, you can take that W.
But you
I
want to
will
know the
take that
sad part
W.
about it, though, Riz?
What?
Is the fact that, dang it, I wish we had watched the episodes, but it's fine, though.
We'll get to
'Cause
those, although
I can't
I
talk
don't
about it
think
yet.
we'll get to those, but I don't think they're gonna do much to help his character, though, Anthony.
Oh, that's not even
Like,
the issue. The issue is that other thing that happens.
We will talk after this is done
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
But yeah, D
What's
tier.
next?
Yeah, Sumino, black.
We skipped
I love how Green is so irrelevant. We just skipped over him.
Oh man.
Okay. So Green
not intentional, listeners. That was not intentional. That literally was a mistake on my part.
no. Okay, but honestly,
It's a
when I
perfect
did the original
description.
tier-
Perfect description.
No, when we did the first tier ranking, whenever that was, I ranked him as the weakest link. Green was the weakest link to me.
Yes.
And everyone's like, I had some people from the in the comments tell me, "Oh no, Riz, what are you talking about? Green is awesome." I'm like, no, he's not. He's not that great because he doesn't get too many things to do, and his character still borders on a little inappropriate to me.
Because of the 17 again thing.
The 17 again thing, but also the I'm an old man, but I'm going to be a 17-year-old. I'm going to go party and get some chicks kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
It just came off as really bad optically. So I wasn't really a fan of his character for that optic. But then he also, the only thing of note that he did or had happened with him was that one-off scene where he's green-eyed with his wife once he's restored to her youth.
Mhm.
That's the only thing of interest he's done in the past, 10 to 15 episodes, I think.
That was pretty interesting, yeah. Other than that,
But everything
really
else about him,
happened.
he's just kind of there. And if he is doing something, he's I'm party boy. I'm here to party. I'm like, no, you're not.
He's more of a brother joke than
man.
freaking Horeru was.
Yeah.
No, because okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about Green. I don't know his name anymore. Green doesn't have a name.
Kenji.
Green is his name. Moving on. They had a golden opportunity to do some really good stuff with him. They could have had him be the wise one. They could have had him be like an advisor, mentor type person, kind of being like that sage, wise character, passing on advice and stuff. But instead, they wasted to say, "Hey, let's lean into the comedy and make him all about a party life." I'm like, dude, we don't need him to go party. We need him to be a character with some detail.
Now that you put him that way, he feels like Master Roshi without all of the good parts of his character.
Yeah.
No, don't insult Master Roshi like that.
But I mean,
I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, they focus solely on the comedic aspect of Roshi by removing his great teachers and his knowledge and how great of a teacher he was to Goku and Krillin. And
right, and that's the thing. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, the thing about Roshi was that he was so good about that whole, when he was serious, he was incredible at what he did. But then he had those goofy moments that make you question his sanity. This guy is just the comedic stuff. And when there's nothing playing up to his comedic strengths, or if those even exist, he just kind of stands there and looks stupid.
And like every
he's
now
not
and then,
campaigning.
they're gonna make a comment saying something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, he's an older guy, but trapped in a young kid's body." Like they bring that up, but there's like really no, reason.
Notice that the older actor has not come back to play as him in like forever since his debut.
Because why would he?
Mm-hmm.
The trope is he's a guy trapped in a young kid's body.
Like the only time that I think they utilized him good was that one episode where they went. Was it like when they went back in time, or where they like reverted technology, or whatever that episode was, like way like early on in the season?
Oh
Where
yeah,
him
I know what
and
you're talking about.
him and Samino went back in time or something. They utilized him being familiar with like a time decades ago to their advantage. And those are the kind of cool things you can do with a character as bizarre as this. But again, with every other character, they just keep things too simple. They don't get daring with their character writing or anything.
No, and that's the thing. They're just too scared to take the commitment here and do something.
Mm-hmm.
And Green could have been more interesting. They could have leaned into it. Honestly, you know what they could have done? Because I think they did this for another character in here already, like one of the one-offs or whatever. Not the one-offs, like one of the villains. I think the brother. They said like, oh hey, he's like a former Red from like years ago. Why couldn't they have said that this guy is the former Green, just brought back as a youth or whatever, and that he has like this advice and backstory type thing?
Like he was
Make
part
it
of
like a
Gozu Polar's team from
Yeah.
back in the day.
and make him something similar to Gold from Q Ryuzer.
For you, Drew.
Ryuger.
Yeah, Uchi.
Yeah.
Uchi,
Make him like Yuchi. That could have been really cool. They could have done something really fun like that.
Yeah.
But instead they went with like the simple, easy thing to get a couple of laughs out of the kids, and that was it. Because I guarantee you, like if you go on Reddit or talk to people in like different Discords, they'll tell you, yo, Green is pretty funny. We like Green. He's comedic. I'm like, okay, cool, he's
Of course you
comedic,
do.
but he's not of any substance. There's nothing to him.
Yeah, I don't. Literally, the only thing I have to say about Kinjiro is something that I just ended up kind of unintentionally saying, where I literally said next up is Sumino, because I'm kind of subconsciously just saying, yeah, Green doesn't even exist, because evidently I literally just unironically forgot that he even exists. So
He doesn't exist, man.
yeah. Like he might be probably like I found his backstory to be kind of intriguing just a little bit, but even then I thought this guy they could end up messing up on this character really easily, and evidently they have, because this guy, like, honestly, when you think about it, like, he might be in contention for the worst Green Ranger I've ever seen, because I don't remember hating that. Well, okay, if I'm talking about like Green and Blacks, like maybe Gunpei from Go Anja, but even then I didn't hate Gunpei that much.
At least
like,
Gunpei had speaking lines.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
You
so
know
here's the
you want to know who this is character starting to remind me of? Wild Force Black.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. So Gal Black was also just as bad as Gal Ranger, and he was an F tier. But if I'm talking about like pure greens, like the only green I would say that I think he could be competing with for the worst right now and this would be fresh in your guys' minds because we just finished watching this Sentai not too long ago. O Green, because I don't know, rewatching O Ranger, O Green was one of the more annoying ones because he's just kind of a dumbass throughout most of the throughout the show. So I really did not like O Green, but Kinjiro, like, okay, honestly, it's either All Green or Kinjiro for the worst green now, because
Mhm.
yeah, he is not a great character. He is just not a good character the more I watch.
He's barely a character.
Hey, it's like Riz said something in the first podcast, and everyone's like, "No, Riz, you're crazy. What are you talking
I mean,
about?"
I think we mostly agreed that he was pretty bad right out of the gate anyway.
Yeah.
He was the one we all kind of agreed with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen weak green characters, like Hayate was probably the weakest Ginga Man, but there was at least personality to him,
Mhm.
and he at least did stuff. And I don't really care much for Tusk from Gozyuger, but again, he at least had character. He at least had personality to him. Like, again, the fact that I literally just unironically forgot that Kinjiro even exists just now should be a testament to how little of an impact he has on this whole series.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll say D tier, but I'm starting to think that maybe D tier is being too generous, because if he keeps this up,
No,
then
I'm gonna keep him in D tier until he does something to piss me off. Right now, he's not pissed me off. He just kind of exists, and he's kind of borderline creepy. But
no, but
he's not.
if he keeps this up, I'm not going to be nice. I'm going to put him in F tier when this series ends. If he keeps this
Well,
up,
and that's a possibility even I have. But again, he has to do something extremely bad, because I consider F tier to be okay. The character has done something intentionally to be bad. Like, that's why a certain Red is in the F tier for me, because he intentionally did something bad. It was part of the design to make him like that. But his
fair
design
enough.
does not indicate he's made to be a failed ranger. He's just kind of he's boring and borderline creepy and has no point of being there.
Yeah, that's fair.
So until he does something more egregious, he's staying in D tier for me at least.
Yeah, Patrick, Anthony, you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, talking
Now we
about
can move on to Sumino.
okay, so talking about Black, I have some things I want to throw out there at the same time. One, I'm gonna just throw it at the gate. I think Sumino is like a B tier Black right now. She was an A tier originally, going towards S, but she did drop a little bit because of the entire convoluted story about her sister and Rikuo, and it not being very clear what they're going to do next with all that plot. So still a good character. I enjoy her, but they need to get it more finality on what they're going to do with her. With all that said, I do want to take a second here to talk about Maya Imamori, who is the
Yeah.
actress behind Sumino, because she's been getting a lot of flack lately online, unjustly, I might add, about a possible controversy that happened with her and the stunt actor for the Red Wolf. He's a wolf, right? He's a wolf.
Yeah.
So they allege that there was some kind of controversy where they had an infidelity or whatever. And so here's my thing. That the source of that rumor is a Japanese tabloid, and that Japanese tabloid has a very good reputation of being known for throwing out false information to just get clicks. They're clickbait. But the issue is the reputation of Maya has been really thrown to the, thrown out the deep end. Like, she is just drowning right now. And there's a lot of concerns that in future episodes, the producers start to minimize her role more. I haven't gotten there yet, so I don't know if that's a true statement or not. However, I just want to say, as a whole, I support the plight she's going through, and I think she's a great character in the season she's in. Were she put in a better season, like, one of the GOAT seasons, she'd easily probably become the best Black if they had done better
Yeah.
writing for her and done better stuff for her, because she's a great actress and she's only freaking 19 years old and going through this controversy right now, dude. That's the part that really annoys me.
Right.
So I just want to say that Maya Imamori deserves better than this. I think the tabloid's name was like Pork Bun or something, and they can just go where because they really do just suck.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Sumino is I mean, first of all, I agree with everything you have to say about her actress, and yeah, I think she's a great character. I think she's going to get a little bit better with this next match that we're going to be taking a look at, but we'll get to that in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I can agree that her being a B tier is appropriate.
Yeah.
I'll be the contrarian. I think she's C also.
Yes, the ever contrarian. You're becoming more and more like a Riz in this review series.
I do think she's the best character in this season out of the core 6 Rangers, but I still don't think even she's done enough to warrant anything higher than that.
That's not enough. She need to do more. He wants more. More.
I mean, she has the best developed personality and characterization of all of them. That's the one thing she's got going for her. But even then, her own personal story, just like with Ryuko's, it feels like it's too slow burning and stagnant.
Yeah.
So like I want to see them actually follow through on some of this stuff before I can fully give them their props. Especially because in this batch of episodes, she did next to nothing in these episodes we watched for this video.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll see more of that. But I can see where Patrick is coming from on that.
No, I get it. And for the record, I misspoke earlier in my support of Maya. The tabloid is not named Pork Bun. The tabloid's name is Bun Sun. So my apologies on that. I got it wrong.
We should call them Pork Bun because it makes them sound more ridiculous.
That's true. No, I honestly think what happened is I recently found out that there's a DNS company called Pork Bun. There are people who who do domain transfers of websites, so like the .net or .com, whatever website you buy. There's an actual company called Pork Bun. So I think I got them mixed up with this one because I just started talking about a company a couple of days ago in a project I'm working on.
Man, that happens to the best of us.
So, but no, I just wanted to call out that this is Bun Sun, and they deserve to be disbanded as a company because they don't deserve to have their press credentials if they even have those. Because, dear God, this is such a terrible controversy.
And ironically, because I'm currently in school to be a journalist, I've been learning a lot about media ethics. And these guys are these guys have broken so many rules, man. It's not even funny.
No, like they have no proof. They spread a rumor. And from what I can tell from Yahoo News in Japan and other things off of Twitter and Reddit and everywhere else, it's possible that they paused filming and production for a couple of weeks to deal with the controversy. But also, I think at this point, when the controversy started to really come to head, Gozyuger's filming was probably closer to like episode 40 or 42. And so they can't really do a lot to eliminate Sumino from the show or like minimize her interaction with the season. But there's been a lot of like comments of, oh, they're going to replace her with her sister. They're going to replace her with another legend. They're going to do this. I'm like, no. At this point, I don't see them taking her out because you got to think. For us to be at like episode 36 as of the date of this recording and where Gozyuger is, that indicates that they've already got most everything filmed and the finale is getting ready to be put in post-production right now. Because it takes them a while to do it. And then you got to factor in, okay, so they don't have Thanksgiving like how we do in America, but they have Christmas and they have other holidays in their country. So at a certain point, the Japanese production will also pause for the holiday season, and then pick up in a new year to complete everything. So time-wise, there's just not a lot of room left for them to really, have rewritten Gozyuger. And honestly, what are they going to rewrite? They don't really have a story. So I don't know. This is my soapbox rant of all this stuff to do with Maya, because I think it's just really downright terrible what they did to her.
Yeah.
And even the crazier part is, prior to the rumor of her coming out and being part of this infidelity thing, the original thing that happened, and it's verified, is that stunt actor for Red Wolf, he actually left the show because he was sick, and there was a whole press release on that. So now what are we saying? That he left because he was dismissed for infidelity, or was he dismissed because he got sick?
Like who? Wait, who left because he got sick?
The stunt actor for Red, the guy that she had the infidelity with allegedly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he announced weeks before the scandal came to head that he was leaving Gozyuger because he had health complications and he couldn't continue doing the work. And I was kind of like weirded out that I even made Reddit, because normally we as a fandom don't put a lot of time on who the stunt actors are.
Yeah.
I mean, I've met a couple of stunt actors from the Power Ranger franchise, but that's because they're at Comic-Cons. And so that's different. But the Japanese stunt actors, do we even know any of them? I don't think so. So for them to have announced it was kind of odd to begin with. So maybe I could see like a connection, but I don't think so. Like that just seems like they're covering it up. And then Bunsen brought it out, but I doubt that, man. I really doubt that's what happened. Because Toei had nothing to lose by just not even like mentioning the scandal. They could have just kept it all quiet and never mentioned scandal. So
I think it's largely just because our actress is half Filipino, so it just became way more than it needed to be.
dude, Yui Koike is also half Filipino.
Oh, I
The
am
actress
from
who played I am is half Filipino.
Oh wow.
Didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, she's half Filipino.
Mm.
Really sweet lady, by the way. I had dinner with her in Ryoto a month ago at this point.
That's awesome. I'll be meeting her
Yeah.
soon too, so
Yeah, you get to hang out with her too at some point, or at least say hi to her, and
yeah.
This random plugin for a Ranger Stop brought to you by Toku Secrets Podcast. And
Anyway.
come check out Ranger Stop Orlando for all the Toku Spirits actors, because they're awesome.
Yeah, they absolutely are.
That is my one quick plug for two things I like. But going back to the rating on Block, I think she's a B. Patrick thinks she's a C. I can respect the C, but I think a B is more appropriate here.
I'd say low B for me right now, but she can probably regain that stock soon.
Yeah.
And Anthony, what do you say?
I'd say B as well.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
And then we got Polar.
Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up with Mashiro, our sixth Ranger.
I want to put him in D so badly.
Dude, like he's really disappointing me. Like as a Ranger, I'm like, dude, like you look cool, your suit's cool, your Zord's cool, but why are you the way that you are?
Hey, I'm gonna throw out my not hot take for a second here. You know how everyone last season was like, "Oh my god, I can't stand purple, Boom Boomzer."
Yeah.
No, I would prefer purple over this guy.
Yes, I would too.
Yeah, yep. Boone Violet is a much better character.
Yeah, I don't know. Mashiro to me just kind of comes off as just being the antisocial, like anti-hero type of guy who just kind of acts a little hostile and is just kind of a jerk for no reason. Like
he has a god complex, and every character that has a god complex is irritating.
Yeah, like at first you could probably say he's like Naruto from Time Ranger, but Naruto had more personality to him. Like a lot of people say that like Naruto was like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z if he was in Sentai. Well, if we want to go by like anime characters logic, like Mashiro kind of comes off to me like unironically as being like Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh, except not the complex, like genuinely kind of cool Japanese version of Kaiba. I'm just talking about like the guy who can't stop like sucking himself off every 5 seconds from the
Mm-hmm.
dub. Like they like the Kaiba. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what he comes off as. And that's not a
Yeah.
good thing.
No. He was sort of interesting during his introduction, and then like he hasn't done anything since. Like he hasn't had an episode to his name, really. He hasn't gone through an arc of any kind, or he's just kind of waddling around being a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Like at least Sekito had some personality to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest crime that he committed was just that he didn't do much after his last episode, but he had personality to him. He had a dynamic with the team that worked okay, and he was a perfectly likable character. Like he wasn't a jerk or
Yeah.
anything. So yeah, but at the same time, Sakito was the weakest character in Boom. Well, okay, it was either him or Ishiro in Boom Boomger, but if Mishiro was being upstaged by Sakito, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see,
Because
that's
How's
the
the,
difference, guy. And that's my
the
difference here. I'm going to throw out real quick for y'all.
mm-hmm.
You were talking about Green being an F tier, right? But Green didn't piss me off. Polar every now and then can annoy me.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm not
Polar has a
gonna
just to go F tier at some point.
I was about to say I haven't seen every Sixth Ranger in Sentai yet, but the only thing I'm gonna tell Mashiro is I hope you get used to hanging out with Ricky down there. 'Cause
oh boy,
you're not moving from there anytime soon, pal.
wait, is Kiba Ranger down there with them?
Kiba Range, yeah, Kiba Range, yeah. Good luck being annoyed by those two, pal.
Man, it's so bad how with like white Sentai Sixth Rangers, at least the Sixth Rangers, not Maji Mother because she's an extra ranger, but like you have 3 Sixth Rangers that are genuinely like amazing rangers. You have Spider Kimonos, you have Urban Killer and Deca Break, and then you have two really bad ones in Goju Polar and Kiba Ranger. It's like you're either really, really good or you're really, really bad. There's no in
Mm-hmm.
between when it comes to white Sentai Sixth Rangers.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have somebody to give Kiba Ranger company now. Because I don't think we could count Geki Chopper as a Sixth Ranger because Gokaiger doesn't. So
Geki
No.
Chopper is in the middle somewhere.
yeah,
I count Geki Chopper, and he's like mid tier, so he's the outlier.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go so far as to put him in F like Patrick does, but I can fully understand why. Like yeah, I liked him in his first couple of episodes, but as of now, he's just kind of just trended into the like, but I can agree with Riz too. He gets annoying with just how much he views himself as a god. So I think F tier is justifiable. I put him in D, but yeah, he could very well end up in F when this season is over. But Anthony, you want to give your tier ranking?
He's about to be he's about to be in that like D, literally D if he doesn't improve. He's already at D, but if he's about to if he continues, he's gonna be F soon.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that wraps up the tier ranking. So, do we have any more closing thoughts before we wrap up here when it comes to Gojuger, guys?
No, get me out of here.
All right, cool.
Is this another
All
case of Patrick going out?
Patrick went out.
I can't blame Patrick for that. But yeah, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, everybody, this was our 6th episode of Gozyuger. We'll be trying to do 2 more where we do up to 40 next time and then do up to 50 or 49 or 48, however many episodes we end up having for this one. We'll do that for Gozyuger. But when we return to you guys next time, we'll be taking a look at the we've actually already recorded this one, but we'll be taking a look at the fan film, The Pink Blossom, which is the second installment in the Project Megaforce fan film production on YouTube. Just check out our previous podcast to get all the information on that. Definitely check that out. And when we return to Sentai once again, we'll actually be taking a look at some pretty good stuff. We'll be doing our 5th installment of Maji Ranger, where we take a look at stages 21 through 25, and we'll be doing our updated tier rankings on the Maji Rangers then. So we do have a lot of great stuff planned for you guys, even though this one wasn't nearly as great as we would have hoped. But we hope you will join us for all of that. But until then, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you guys later. Bye for now. If you enjoyed listening to the Toku Secrets Podcast, please check us out at animesecrets.org and follow us on all our social media pages such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And also feel free to check out our other podcasts, including Anime Declassified and the Jedi Squadron. You can also leave us any feedback you'd like to offer us directly on our website. If you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, we thank you so much, and please leave us a rating out of 5 stars. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed, and leave any comments down below, as we love to take the time to read comments left on our channel and give our fans, shout-outs. If you have any seasons of Super Sentai, Power Rangers, or other Tokusatsu shows that you'd like for us to check out, please don't hesitate to say so in your feedback. With all that said, we thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our podcast, and we will see you next time as we continue our never-ending journey through the world of Tokusatsu. But until that time, you all stay safe, we love you, and may the power protect you.